All right, welcome everybody. It's time to talk about Wotv stuff on the JP side. Not going to be talking about global stuff because global stuff is pretty straightforward. You got your Laura Croft. Maybe I'll do a Laura Croft video. Maybe I'll do some kind of video for, for global advice a little bit later this week. But for now, we're focusing on JP because JP got the bigger update today. So let's dig in, shall we? So first off, let's just get it out of the way. The vision card update. The vision card update is one of the biggest updates we've seen in terms of how party compositions will be in the future. Like, originally we had some vision cards that were just generally good across everything. You look at Ifrit, it's just a 50% attack boost for anyone that can fog a mirror. Okay, fine. Then we went into the elemental phase, and now we are leaving what looks like to be the elemental phase and going into the job phase. So this is the first UR vision card. And before we go any further, then talking about this first UR vision card that will be hosting the job changes, let's talk really quickly about what is and isn't getting changed from the past. First of all old UR vision cards are staying the exact same. None of them are getting changed at this point in time. I guess it could be potentially changed, but they haven't announced anything. So for now, old URs will stay the same with elemental conditions on them, on most of them. And as for SSR cards or MR cards for our global fan base, they will also be staying the same. That could change. They might change them, but I doubt it. So for all intents and purposes now, you don't have to worry about mid-tier or high-tier cards. But starting going forward, I think this is the type of vision card that we will expect most of the time. And that's also because elemental vision cards don't really have that many places left to go. Sure, some elements are kind of not super well because they're limited vision card stuff, but I foresee that this is going to be the trend going forward. We'll see. But now, let's take a look at this first vision card, and then we will talk about the other vision card shortly after. So this is the brand new one. It works for essentially the classes that you see here. By clicking on this button, you can get a quick look at how the party ability will work and for who it will work with. So just scrolling out here, as you can see, a lot of gunner classes, some that stand out that are pretty easy. Double gunner, regular gunner, we have, I think, Machinist, we have Barrett, we have Ayala, we have Jaden, so you can see really easily visually which characters are going to benefit from this. You see Queen on here, a lot of fist users, cane users, and gun users. So that's essentially who this vision card is going to be interesting for. Now, the great thing about these new vision cards is that you are no longer going to be pigeonholed to a specific element and making an entire team of just mono element. You could, for instance, throw this vision card with Ayala. You could throw it with Barrett. You could throw it with Tifa, all on the same party, and they would all get the benefits of it. And this vision card is not exactly short on benefits. First of all, like 30 physical human killer is a pretty strong start. It's one of the stronger human killer vision cards we've seen out there, and it also has a few other bonuses to do with other damage types. So great. I mean, this is a powerful vision card for certain elements. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think that this vision card is pretty damn strong. I don't think that it's really missing too much. The question is like, how do you build a team with this? What units are you specifically looking? And I got the vision card because I'm curious about, the first one and testing it out and seeing what weird non-mono element team I could potentially make work with this. Doesn't mean I'm going to be getting every vision card going forward, as that's expensive, but I am interested enough to be trying it out with this one. And heck, I already have a lot of the units on here, but you look at like where this could be potentially interesting. I mean, you could throw Tifa on a team with Ayala and throw on the Ifrit card too for extra attack power and just ride out that human killer, and maybe it's enough. I don't know. This is a pretty big buff for some fist users though. Like some of these fist damage type users don't have good access to Human Killer, and this also is pretty good going forward too. I mean, it means that you don't need an elemental physical killer card for any gunner in the future or any fist users. I assume these will be updated to have those users. Now, some of this list is less than impressive, like for instance, maybe Queen is not the most impressive one, and definitely not Sakura, which I'm really excited about, but there is potential here to be pretty interesting going forward. I'm curious how this will evolve and how this will change the meta, whether we can finally, see a little bit of variance, because it's basically just elemental teams out the yin-yang. But the update extends a little bit further, and we're just going to scroll down here and take a little bit of a peek at the other type. So lower than MR or SSR tier cards will also get a similar benefit. And so right here you can see this is a list of all the jobs that will get benefited off of this. Pretty big list, lots of stuff on here that could be potentially getting a bonus here. And for all of our needs for the rest of this video, no, just kidding. But we do have this, which is a bit of just a auto translation. We can just, oh, nope, never mind. It's not going to work. It's because I already have it. So we scroll down here, we can get a quick look at what a lot of the vision cards are getting. You are welcome to check this out on Ultima. From what I've checked, it's pretty accurate in terms of translation, because there's just not that much that's really that difficult in these vision cards to translate. But you're looking at like acquired AP up, hit up, you're looking at maximum HP, more accuracy. If we scroll even further down, we can see some of the lowest R tier vision cards. They're getting like shooting attack resistance up, single attack resistance up, critical avoidance up, slash attack resistance up. But like if you look at the R tiers, they're basically giving very little, of about 4 to 7 to 5%. Some number there depending on what we have. Like we have very much the Venice, which has avoidance rate, okay, of 4, or you have the Crystal Church flag, which has slash attack resistance of 4, or I don't know, let's pick a different number. The Horn flag, which has magic attack up by 4. Okay, bad example, but you can get an idea. For the lower tier vision cards, this will probably be fairly noteworthy come around limited time events when you have cost limitations for using these, because you can actually get sources of extra bonus for specific job points, and how you build those teams is also going to be a little bit different. And hiding if you just put a wind unit up but you have 2 fire units behind it, there's less of a job restriction now, and you can potentially irk out a fair amount of bonus by having these lower tier vision cards. So essentially this update works twofold. New vision cards going forward are going to be pretty interesting for defining and shaping what good teams look like. And the other thing that's going to be really interesting is lower cost events, where you are, limited cost events, and how exactly that will be going forward. But as for your, super high tier vision cards, they're staying similar elements. So for JP right now, especially this week, I don't think we're going to see any kind of major changes in meta or whatnot, but I do think that the new vision cards will be generally good for people who like very specific job types and really want to focus on those job types more, rather than just a specific mono element, and that will give some nice variation to what teams you're fighting. So great. I'm pretty overall positive about this update. Seems pretty nice, and it's going to be a little bit slow to roll out because we're waiting for new vision cards, but could be potentially really interesting for just variety of games, especially in PvP. All right, what else do we have on the JP side? There's a couple other few things of note. We have some new master abilities that I'll get into really quickly. first of the interlude stories is out. Not going to spoil anything, but that is available on JP, so Globalers can expect it in about 3 months. As for new farm missions, just one this week, really worth talking about. A chance to farm Icebrand, which did get its 6-star upgrade on JP. I will jump over to here and show it off. Potentially, if I can find where it is. Someone in the comments will be like, it's there! And I'll be like, it's too late. I can't hear you through the internet. But here we go. Plus 6-star version. We'll get a bit of a stat boost. Will overall be, a generally nice weapon for an ice-based unit that's you're potentially looking for. And ice attack, slash attack, and defense penetration. So a good increase to be sure, and a welcome. Why not? Don't see any really big downsides to that. All right, so I think that's pretty much everything on JP. Oh no, except for the master abilities, which we're going to go into right now before my voice completely fails. So we have a group of 4 new master abilities and a crash 2. To be fair, we've gone 8 minutes without one. So first of all, what is it? Valleyade? I guess I should bring up the unit in case some people don't know who this unit is. It's connecting. It's always connecting. Why is it always connecting? Who are you connecting to? It's 11 o'clock at night. Okay, it's not 11 o'clock at night, but I needed somebody to go through the awkward pause here where recording, it's just like, it doesn't work. All right, so this guy, incredibly disappointing. He gains 20 AoE resistance, and that's essentially it. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the next unit. Next up is Marguerite, also a overall unimpressive upgrade here. Mono HP buff, as well as immobilize resistant agility plus 10% and casting time of minus 50%. I know that some people use her for selection quest and everything, and any improvement is better than no improvement. But just in terms of ranking this pool, this is not impressive, and moving on. Next up, this is story of a unit that you might think a little bit more interesting. So we get the mono element buff here. We not only that, but we get a spirit penetration increase of 25, a defense increase of 20, and wouldn't you know it, lo and behold, an actual ability upgrade as well. Magic Jammer getting sure hit. In other words, it's now a 100% accurate ability on a incredibly defensive and brawly type unit like Miranda with magic power. Could be interesting. Could really be interesting. Even has me ho-humming about whether or not I want to just all the way up to 25. It's not like I'm short on orbs to get her there, but just depending on how many resources I want to spend. Either way, Miranda's buff is interesting to say the least. It's everything that I think you could possibly want. She's already pretty defensive, but this makes her like just a little bit more. She can get through spirit a lot nicer, and just sure hit is something I will never ever complain about on a unit, especially one of their key abilities. And last but not least, definitely the star of the show is Calf, who gets the mono elemental buff as well as an extra 10% HP that boosts her overall HP increase to 80%, 30% overall. Agility increase of 10% as well. And she gets an extra slash and magic resistance boost of 15. And all of this is pretty nice. Like if we just scroll down here and take a look, I actually have mine built full 120. Yes, it is removed. Don't hold that against me. But you can see mine's with her upgrade already has turned out pretty nice. HP of 8,000, 100 speed, which is pretty good. Some people complain about her being pretty slow. Without TMR runes, I've been able to get her pretty nice, and that's without really some of the best equipment I could probably equip with her. I could probably go a little bit harder on just newer equipment. I think this Earth has not been my focus for a little bit, but that's just me making excuses. And if we check out here, pretty good overall resistances for not focusing on it too terribly much. Heal, definitely the best upgrade out of all 4 of them. Quite like her a lot. Think she's been performing pretty well for me. And pretty happy to see that she got the best MA2. Miranda definitely got the second best, if not potentially the best. Maybe after some playing and using her a little bit, she'll really shine a whole bunch. And as for the 2 lower cost units, really don't think that there is anything, but hey, if you're looking to use them for selection quests and you don't have too much options, you're probably just going to use them anyway. So yeah, that is basically everything. And to wrap up this video, I'll just talk about what to expect for the rest of this week. JP will be getting its next update on Sunday evening at midnight. So right when it turns over to the next month, when it changes from July to August, that will be JP's next major update. I would expect another live stream to announce the next major character, especially if it is a summer character, because the summer characters are usually pretty hype, but don't hold me to that. If there is a live stream to be announced, it will probably happen on Thursday or Friday and announced in the next couple of days, sort of thing. So keep tuned, watch out for that. As for me, I mean, I'll be streaming some Wotv stuff potentially later in the week, especially if there is a live stream. But other than that, I will be focusing on finishing Stray and doing a little more videos on Strangers of Paradise DLC this week. So tune in to the live streams for that if you're interested. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go, and before my voice dies, see ya.